Hello and welcome. My name is Ada from Drum Study Abroad. Today we're talking about how to structure a successful New Zealand student visa application. If you're planning to study in New Zealand, this is the most important session you will watch. No fluff, straight to the point, so you get maximum value. While you're here, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button to support our ministry. It will really mean a lot to us. You watching might actually be a student or an aspiring student. And from experience, we do know that most students focus mainly on getting the admission. They think once they have their offer letter, that the visa is just a formality. And that is a very dangerous mistake. Your visa application is a separate process. And if it's not structured properly, you can lose money, waste time, and still get refused. I do not want you to find out the hard way. And that's why we are here to support you through that process. Most students feel that visa refusals are random, and I think that's actually a false narrative. Immigration in New Zealand does not guess. Most immigration offices do not guess. They review your application line by line, looking for gaps and inconsistencies and weak points. Once they find those gaps, your chances drop immediately. In this session, I will show you exactly what they're checking for, where most people get it wrong, and how to structure your application properly from the start. So let us begin. Before we go deeper, you need to know which visa applies to you. So, most students will apply for the fee paying student visa. This is for full time study at an approved New Zealand institution. If you're doing a pathway program like a foundation course or a pre master's course, which we actually heavily market, leading to a degree, you may qualify for the pathway student visa, which covers multiple programs with one visa. Now, regardless of which visa you choose, there is one central test your application must pass. Take notes, get your pen. It is called the genuine student requirement. This is the most important part of your application. Immigration wants to see that your study is genuine. They assess your connection to your home country, your reasons for choosing this specific course, your plans after studying, and your financial suitability. Everything I teach you today is designed to help you meet this genuine student requirement. So please listen up. So, what is immigration really looking for? When you submit your visa, the immigration officer they assess your application against four pillars. So, we believe these are the four key pillars that they are actually, checking for. Number one, your finances. They want to see that you can afford your education in a stable and believable way. They look for history, not just balance. Number two, your academic progression. Your educational journey must make sense. If you studied one thing and now apply for something unrelated, you must explain that clearly. Number three, your study intention. Why this course? Why New Zealand? Why now? Weak answers will create red flags. Number four, your overall consistency. Your document, your personal statement, your CV, your financial records, all these must tell the same story. If they don't match, doubt enters your application. And once doubt enters, your chances reduce significantly. Your job is not just to apply, your job is to remove doubt completely. So now let me cover three key requirements that every student must address in their application. So the first one is your English language requirement. You must prove your ability through approved tests like IELTS, PTE, TOEFL, and minimum scores actually vary by course. Typically, IELTS 6.0 for undergraduates and 6.5 for postgraduates. And some countries and prior qualifications may qualify you for a waiver. The second key requirement is the health requirement. If you plan to study for more than 1 year, you will be required to take a medical examination where you'd have to have a chest x ray from an approved doctor or approved center. This ensures you meet the New Zealand's health standards. And then finally, the character requirements. You must provide police certificates from any country you've lived in for more than 5 years since you turned 17. Any past visa refusals or criminal history must also be declared. Hiding this will lead to an automatic refusal. These are non negotiable, and missing any of them will delay or derail your application. I hope you're listening. Now, let me give you an example to show you how this works. So, we have a student that had a diploma in business and 3 years of work experience in marketing. She applied for a postgraduate marketing course in New Zealand. And here's why she got approved. First of all, her finances showed 6 months of consistent savings in her parents' account, plus a clear letter explaining the source from the property sale or from a property sale. Secondly, her course choice connected directly to her diploma and work experience. It showed logical progression. Thirdly, her cover letter clearly explained why New Zealand, because the program had a unique digital marketing focus not available in her home country. Fourthly, she completed her medical exam and police certificate early, so there were no delays. Her application was approved within 4 weeks. The difference was structure, and every part of her file told the same story. Hopefully, that will be your story if you are organized. Obviously, you can do this yourself, but if you need some assistance, do DM us at Drum Study Abroad, and we'll be very happy to help. While you're still here, you still have a chance to hit the subscribe button so that you can help support our community. Now, let's talk about your offer of place. So, most people rush this stage because they want admission quickly, and I think that's a mistake. Your course choice must be strategic. It should connect to one of three things: your previous education, if you study business and now apply for a management course, that makes sense. Your current work experience, if you have worked in IT and now apply for cybersecurity, that is logical. A clear career progression. If you want to move from a technical role to a management or leadership course, that helps tell a story. If your course has no connection to your past or future plan, immigration will question your intention. And once they question your intention, your application automatically becomes weaker. So do not chase admission blindly. Choose a course that strengthens your visa case. We have various courses and various levels that will help you to progress in the right direction. We've got pre-masters in nursing, we've got business, we've got logistics and supply chain management and similar courses, and some in IT as well, both at undergraduate and master's level. Most of them are pathway courses, but yeah, these courses we would map the best option for you based on your previous experience, previous educational history, and whatever you're doing moving forward. Now it's time to talk about the money, the finances. This is one major reason why visas fail. You need to show your tuition fees plus living expenses, which is normal practice regardless of which country you're going to study. But in New Zealand, immigration requires proof of New Zealand dollars of 20,000. So 20,000 New Zealand dollars per year for living cost for a 1 year course. That means showing at least 20,000 plus tuition fees. So for longer courses, you need to multiply that accordingly. But here's what people misunderstand. It's not just about showing the amount, it is about showing the history behind it. Immigration wants to see where the money came from, how long it has been there, and whether it makes sense. So if you go and borrow money and just dump it in the account, you are more likely going to be refused a visa. If the money, you have to show the trail. The trail has to make sense. They want to see where the money came from, how long it's been there, and whether it makes sense. So take note of that. If your funds are in your parents' name, you must provide their bank statements, a letter of support, and proof of your relationship, like your birth certificate. If you have a sponsor, the same principle applies with clear documentation and a consistent history. Let me give you two scenarios. Student A, let's say Bola, deposits a large amount 2 weeks before applying. Student B has a smaller amount, but it has been in their account for 6 months with steady inflow. They also show their parents' accounts, salary statements to explain the source of their funds. Student B looks more credible because their finances tell a consistent story. Do not focus on showing big money. Focus on showing believable money. That is that I'm preaching now. Believable money. They're not looking for Gwego here. Believable money. So take note of that while you fund your accounts. Since we're discussing money, we have to talk about tuition payments and how to handle it properly. In New Zealand, you are required to pay 1 year of your tuition fee before visa approval. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if I pay and get refused? That is a valid concern. But the solution is not to avoid payment. The solution is to prepare properly before payment. Before you pay, confirm these three things. Number one, your course of choice is strategic and aligned with your background. Number two, your finances are structured and show a clear history. Number three, your documents are complete and tell a consistent story. Once these are in place, your application becomes stronger. Payment is not the risk, poor preparation is. But in a case where any student is refused, we work with very credible institutions as long as you did not engage in any visa fraud. Your application is not fraudulent, you didn't tell any lies. Um, Most credible institutions will always give you a refund. So, regardless of whether we work with them or you find them yourself, if it's a credible institution, you will get a refund if your visa is refused. But we do not hope or anticipate that that is the case. So that we try as much as we can to ensure that your application is properly prepared or assist you through that process if you require. So remember us at Drum Study Abroad. So now, what is your document strategy? How do you want to present your story? Your documents, they're not just files, they are your story. So you've all heard storytelling, and every single document you submit needs to tell a story. Your CV should show your progression in your education and career. Your academic results should align with the course you're applying for. If you have a gap in your education, explain it, whether it was work, family, or health reasons. Silence creates suspicion, and you do not want to be suspicious. Your cover letter should answer these three questions clearly. Why this course? Why New Zealand? And what are your plans after studying? If these answers are weak or unclear, immigration starts filling in the gaps themselves. And when they do that, it usually works against you. Your goal is simple: make your application easy to understand. Tell a good story, a true story, a genuine story, looking at your past, your present, and where you want to take that in the future by going to New Zealand. One of the frequently asked questions is about the timelines, So I'm going to talk about the timelines and realistic expectations. Um, this is not a last minute process. Applying to study in New Zealand is not a lastminute.com process. Preparation alone can take weeks. Medical exams and police certificates can take time to schedule and receive. Restructuring finances takes time. After submission, the processing can take anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks depending on the time of year and your location. If you rush everything, you increase your chances of mistakes. If you start early, you can give yourself room to correct errors. That alone improves your outcome. So, if you know that you're a late starter, we'd advise you start your application early, start making your inquiries, contact us now, ask your questions so you can start the process really early because starting early actually does pay. So contact us at Drum Study Abroad if you need help trying to navigate through this process of going to study in New Zealand. One major advantage of New Zealand is the ability to travel with dependents. Your spouse and your partner and your children can join you. They can work full time on a work visa linked to your student visa. Your children can attend school as domestic students, which means no international tuition fees. This makes New Zealand attractive for families, But there's something you must understand. When you include dependents, your financial requirement increases. You need to show additional funds to support them. Your application must be stronger, not weaker. So, proper planning is essential. This is not, if your money is not complete, it's not going to work. So, you're going to need to show you have enough money to cover not just you, but also to cover for your dependents if you want to go along with them and when you're applying to study in New Zealand. Now, let's talk about what happens after your studies. New Zealand offers post work study rights. If you complete a degree or qualification at level 7 or above, you may qualify for post study work visa. This allows you to work in New Zealand for up to 3 years after graduation, depending on your qualification and where you studied. For many students, this is a key reason for choosing New Zealand. It gives you time to gain international work experience and explore long term pathways. But remember, your study intention must be genuine. You do not choose a course just for work rights, or you will get refused. Choose a course that makes sense for your career, and the work rights will come as a natural benefit. So don't go writing your student or intent letter to the embassy or to the school that you're just coming over to work or nah. If that is your plan, then you most likely be refused. So take note of that. Now let me address some common concerns that students have. So one of them is, what if I have a gap in my education? This is common. Just explain it calmly in your cover letter. Whether you were working, handling family matters, or preparing for exams, just state it honestly. Immigration respects transparency. Another question is, what if my funds are in my parents' name? This is perfectly acceptable. Provide their bank statements with a letter of support and proof of relationship, like your birth certificate. This is key in showing the history of funds and proving your relationship. Another question is, what if I've been refused a visa before? You must declare this. Hiding this will guarantee a refusal. Explain the reason for the previous refusal and how your new application addresses those issues. But please do not hide anything. Transparency, transparency, transparency. That's what we're here for at Jump Study Abroad. One other question I'd like to address is, what if I pay for tuition and get refused? In most cases, if you're refused, the institution will refund your tuition fees minus a small administration fees. But the best approach is to ensure your application is strong before paying. That being said, all credible institutions normally would refund your money. So, enough said. New Zealand is a welcoming country for international students. And to be honest, the truth about refusals, they are avoidable. Common reasons for refusals are clear, where you have unclear funds, a weak study plan, incomplete documents, late preparation, missing health or character documents. These are not complex problems, they are preparation problems. So if you can fix these, your application becomes stronger immediately. At this point, you should understand one thing. The process is not luck, it's actually structure. You follow the structure, your chances improve. If you want us to assess your profile properly, send your documents today, your passport, your academic results, your CV, and we will review everything and guide you step by step. No guesswork, no confusion. Our emails are available, but follow us on all our platforms at Drum Study Abroad, and please hopefully give us a like for this video, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Anyway, bye bye for now from Ada at Drum Study Abroad.